Hi, this is Sherry from OurLifeHomeschooling.com, where I post homeschooling encouragement for everyday moms. Today I'm going to talk about common mistakes new homeschoolers make, and I hope you find it helpful. If you're a new homeschooler, it can be so overwhelming to know where to start, and you're probably going to make mistakes. We all did. And I'm going to share some common mistakes that I've seen new homeschoolers make. I've made all of these myself, and so I'm sharing these to help someone else avoid them. The first mistake I see new homeschoolers make is to underestimate the power of simply reading to your kids. When you read to your child who's not a reader, you are opening up a whole new world to them. You're taking them places that they can't go on their own. When you're reading to your child who is a reader, you're taking them to the next level. You're bumping them up just a step in vocabulary, in grasping concepts, understanding the flow and the rhythm of language, and you are kind of opening a door for them to be able to read more challenging things on their own. If you think about it, other than math, which is a skill, and writing, which is the overflow of reading, when you read to your kids, almost every other subject that you study, you learn it through reading. And so if you're going to make mistakes in different areas, if you're going to have gaps in some of the things, and like I said, we all make mistakes when we're starting something new. But if you are reading to them, it's going to fill in those holes. It's going to cover things that you miss. If you're going to make mistakes, but you're reading to them, you're not making mistakes. You're making a lot of progress. So underestimating the power of just reading to your kids a lot. Another mistake that I see new homeschoolers make is worrying unnecessarily about socialization. While it is important for your kids to have friends, and in a lot of ways you have to forge your own way, you have to take the initiative to initiate friendships and to play dates, maybe getting involved in groups. If your kids are involved at church, if they're in a co-op, if they're involved in American Heritage Girls, for example, or Trail Life, or Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any of these things, they are going to be just fine. The idea that our kids have to be in school 8 hours a day with their peers, or they're just not going to do well, is a myth. As long as your kids have 2 or 3 really great friendships, if they have 1 or 2 different groups or circles that they're used to being in regularly, they are going to be fine. More than ever before, kids need more time with family. They need more time with their parents. So this is a myth, and you do not need to worry about socialization unnecessarily. Just make sure your kids have a couple of really good friends. Another common mistake is to minimize or ignore problem areas in effort to get schoolwork done. So what is it for you that is a problem area that's causing so much stress in your homeschool day that you are thinking about throwing in the towel? Maybe it's housework, maybe it's the kids fighting, maybe it's chores not getting done, or whatever that problem area is. It may always be a struggle, but you would serve yourself better if you would just push the schoolwork to a back burner, set it aside, and work on problem solving that area and that issue, and then coming back to the schoolwork and slowly taking off chunks and getting things done. But ignoring these problems when they are just mounting stress is just going to lead to more problems later on. Another common mistake is worrying about your kids keeping up with what the kids in school are doing. The reason that you should not worry about what the kids in school or in their grade level are doing is because your child is an individual. And the reason that homeschooling has been working so well and is exploding, and kids are thriving in it, is because of this. What happens when you try to keep your kids on grade level with everything they are doing in school is that your child may have an interest in something that's completely different. And when do kids learn the best? When do they learn the most? They learn it when they're excited about it, when it's something that interests them. And to do only the curriculum that's in third grade for that year with them can be a way of inhibiting their interests and keeping them from really learning about stuff that interests them. Not to say that we shouldn't, keep on a curriculum or keep to task, but, we want to give them freedom to be able to soar. When I kept my child, when I first homeschooled our oldest, I wanted to keep him on grade level with everything. And what I found was that he just soared in reading, and he was going beyond what was necessary for that year. He was going grade levels ahead, but then he was struggling in math. And I didn't want to just keep going to do all the things that were supposed to be done that year. I wanted to stop and be able to help him to target those struggles and to really understand the concept before moving on. Your child is a person. He or she is an individual, and they are going to learn differently. And that's what is making homeschooling work so well. So don't worry about what the kids in school are doing or what they're supposed to be doing on this grade level. You keep working daily, biting off chunks, doing a little here, a little there. Keep making progress, and your kids are going to be fine. They're going to do great. Kids thrive when they're able to learn individually. Another thing that a lot of homeschoolers do is they try to do too much. You do not have to do every subject for each child individually. You can combine your kids for history, for science, for art. There are a lot of subjects that you can combine kids for that subject and save you a lot of hassle and really make an enjoyable learning experience for everyone. Another thing is teach your kids to be self-learners. Someone once told me, whoever is doing the most work is the one learning, and that is so true. If you are running yourself ragged trying to make sure everything gets done, and you're always, teaching every math lesson and teaching every science lesson, you're gonna wear yourself out. Teach them to be self-learners. They should be doing reading, writing, and math every day. They should continually be making progress in those skills. And encourage them as soon as they're readers to start reading on their own and doing assignments on their own. Encourage them in math to do reviews or anything that they have already learned on their own. You can help with introducing a new skill, but let them take initiative and take ownership of their work. They're going to thrive when they see what needs to be done and they can make progress on their own. Another mistake that I made many times, and I see a lot of homeschoolers make, is giving up too easily. In fact, a lot of homeschoolers give up in the first year, and that first year is the hardest. It's the time when you don't really see any of the rewards from your work. You haven't found your rhythm, your routine. You're still picking out curriculum. Excuse all the stamping of feet upstairs. So a lot of homeschoolers just give up in that first year, and they haven't kind of gotten over those hurdles to be able to even enjoy it. There were so many times that I almost gave up because I was in the investment stage of it and not in the reward stage. And if you just stick at it, if you get past some of the problem areas, if you pick your curriculum, if you find a schedule that works for you, if you just get into your groove, you will begin to see the fruit and the rewards of homeschooling your kids, which is just great relationships, deep friendships among siblings, and just a lifestyle that's so rewarding. And that leads me to the last mistake, which is prioritizing academics above relationships. Just remember that your child is the reason that you decided to homeschool. You thought it was best for them, best for you, And when my kids were younger, I made academics a huge priority. I wanted to make sure they were on grade level with everyone else. I wanted to make sure it was excellent. In some ways, I felt like I had to prove it to my friends and family that this was really good. And it is really good. But the older my kids get, I have a child who's in 11th grade. He will graduate next year. The less and less the academics is a priority, and the more and more my relationship with him matters. And so don't make the mistake of prioritizing their schoolwork, their book work. While you need to be making progress in it every day, don't let your relationship with them suffer. Have fun, play games, go places together, learn together, just enjoy being together. You're making memories every day. So these are common mistakes homeschoolers make, and I share them with you to help you avoid them. I hope you found it helpful.